Hey, Shad here with Speed Addicts, and today we're going to check out the Alpinestars Supertech helmet. Sure, you've heard of Alpinestars gear before, but you've never seen an Alpinestars helmet until now. Say hello to the Supertech. It comes in two different flavors. One is the SM8, which starts at $479. It is a composite fiberglass shell. It weighs in at 3 pounds, 4 ounces for a size large. If you want to spend a little bit more cash, you can get the same helmet with the carbon fiber shell, the SM10, for north of $600. All the other features are the same. They're both DOT and ECE certified. They both have the MIPS Generation 2 liners baked in, and they are both full of features, killer ventilation, 4 shell sizes. So intermediate oval fits true to size in our experience, and the 4 shells go extra small, small, 1 shell for medium, 1 shell for large, and 1 shell for extra large, 2X. So Alpinestars spent 5 years developing the Supertech, and they've thought of lots of nifty stuff. The first thing that jumps out at me is this visor. It's really a great looking visor, but it also has a patented shearway system that is a cool safety feature, but also probably makes it less likely to break on a trail ride. If you hit something, this thing's probably going to come off without disintegrating, hopefully, as opposed to a traditional screw type. So this is a patented Alpinestars feature. It's got these little this little plunger system, which I like a lot. The bummer with this is that it's not adjustable, and I noticed that this didn't catch a ton of sun when I had it on. So it's fixed, but it'll probably save you a few bucks in replacement visors. And potentially, you know, as far as injuries go, it's better if that comes off. When I remove that, you'll see tons of ventilation. When we hold this helmet up to the light outside, you can see the sun pour in through all these ducts, which isn't always the case. A lot of helmets will put these fancy looking vents on the helmet, but they won't actually be wide open. This thing has lots of holes in the EPS, and you can see where the air is going to come pouring through this thing. We don't have a goggle vent like I see in a lot of helmets in this category, but lots of brow vents, chin bar vents, stuff that you would expect in a helmet in this price range. The eyeport, they've kind of stretched the eyeport, and so it's plenty wide, great peripheral vision, but a little tight fit on the goggles when you're going in here. And if you have a goggle with a nose bridge or something, it's probably going to be a little tricky to get that in and out. I would probably remove this extra little roost guard if I was going to own this guy, just to make my goggles fit a bit better. So something to keep in mind there. All right, so let's flip this helmet over and check out the back. We've got exhaust ports. You get a great Venturi exhaust effect when you have this much air coming in and out of the helmet. It actually pulls the hot air out of the helmet. You can see on the back here, it's DOT and ECE. This helmet is great to look at. It looks like it's going fast, even though it's standing still. They did a really good job on the aesthetics here. When we look over on the bottom, we're going to see a couple of things. Number one, on this chin bar, you'll see where the shell stops and this rubber gasket starts. That is actually the end of the physical shell. And what this is meant to do is prevent collarbone injuries. So in a lot of accidents, pretty typical in off-road riding or even on the street in an accident for the helmet to make contact with your collarbone, and that causes problems. So they've done away with part of the shell here. They've removed that, and what you have in the chin bar and area of this helmet is EPP. And EPP is softer than traditional styrofoam, and it also retains its shape, which is great if you're going to put this on the handlebars of your bike. It won't dent and compress this. Like, it's almost like it's got a little more rubber to it. It's a little more elastic, which is good for face impacts or collarbone impacts. So they put the EPP in there. We like that. That's something we also saw in the Troy Lee Designs SE4 if you're keeping track. Underneath here we have emergency quick release cheek pads. Those come in and out. That's like stuff you've seen. Removable washable liner here. We'll pop those out of place. And then underneath here we have the traditional D-ring enclosure. And now we're going to get to the headliner. So this headliner is unlike any headliner we've seen up until this point because it's the Generation 2 MIPS headliner. And this thing is multiple pieces, and what it's meant to do, just like the old Generation 1 MIPS, is it's meant to slide against the EPS shell and impact and absorb some of that directional energy. Because of that, they made this 2 pieces, and you can actually plug the liner in 3 different configurations to adjust where it sits on your head, how high it sits on your head, so it can come down or up. And so that's cool. That's something we've seen in maybe the Shoei X14 or some other road helmets, but it's the first time I've seen it in a dirt helmet. Cool feature. And also, you know, you're gonna like the added safety of the MIPS system. However, what you're not gonna like is that this thing is kind of complicated to take in and out. If you're washing your helmet liner often, see, this is the first piece, and if you check this out, it's a slippery liner. If you're gonna be washing this thing a lot, getting it in and out is a little bit of work, because this is the MIPS liner, and then you also have the crown piece, which is also multiple pieces. So let's pop this out and look at this guy. All right, so you can see the different positions you can plug this in, but you know, you got to take this off of this plastic grommet and take it all apart to wash it. So not the most practical to wash, but some of the most advanced safety and you know, adjustability as far as how it's sitting on your head. So I like that. When we get this liner out of the way, you'll see all these holes they've drilled into the EPS styrofoam liner. That's going to get tons of air onto your head. You'll also see that this helmet is eject ready. So that eject system, sold separately, allows first responders to pump air into the helmet and remove it. The safest way to get a helmet off your head in case of an accident. A couple other nifty things you're going to see that we don't see in all dirt or most dirt helmets. Number one is a speaker compartment. Great for trail riding. You want to listen to music or install a communication system. And the other cool thing you'll see inside here is that it's hydration ready. So it's got a recess for a hose on both sides. Final thoughts on the Alpinestars Supertech. I think this is a killer helmet if you're looking for high-end lightweight. The SM10 comes in at sub 3 pounds, and you have all the latest technology built in. The MIPS Generation 2, it's hydration ready, you got the shearway visor, tons of ventilation. I think there's a couple cons. Number one, not being able to adjust this would bother me, and the goggle fitment is a little tight. Other than that, it's a very comfortable helmet, nice place to be, and it runs true. Remember about the addicted fit guarantee. If your Alpinestars Supertech doesn't fit perfect out of the box, we'll get you the right cheek pads or get you an exchange on the house to get you dialed in. That's the addicted fit guarantee if you buy your Supertech from speedaddicts.com. Thanks for watching, everybody, and ride safe.